What's up, y'all, and welcome to Second and 15, a Philadelphia Eagles fan podcast presented by Old City Sports Network, the best network for all of your Philadelphia sports needs. This is your host, Michael Roscoe. Even with the season over for like a couple months now, the Tush Push still lives rent-free in the heads of the rest of the NFL league. We'll talk about the latest news regarding that. Plus, what new country is now part of the Eagles for the NFL Global Partners Program, a roster addition, and more. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right into the show, starting with that Eagles news with a roster addition. So, last Friday we had an addition to the team as the Eagles signed offensive lineman Matt Pryor to a one-year deal. If this name sounds familiar, it's because it is, as Pryor was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 6th round of the 2018 NFL Draft. He played with the Eagles until being traded in 2022 to the Indianapolis Colts. Since then, he has went to go play for the 49ers and last year played for the Chicago Bears, where he started in 15 games at guard. With his versatility at both tackle and guard, I'm expecting Pryor to serve as a good rotational piece as well as a good reserve player, something that has been advantageous to the Eagles in the past with guys like Fred Johnson and Tyler Steen having to step in for multiple games in a season due to injuries to the starters. In other news, we got some rumored new jersey numbers for a few of our newest Eagles. According to the Twitter account NFL_jersey_num, a reliable source for everything NFL jersey numbers, the following newest Eagles will wear these jersey numbers. You have cornerback Adoree Jackson wearing number 8, return specialist Avery Williams will wear number 18, quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson will wear number 14, and long snapper Charlie Hewlett will rock number 47. So, it looks like we'll still see number 8 for a defender, the number previously worn by safety CJ Gardner-Johnson. And now the number 18 jersey, it just seems to be a promising return specialist jersey number for the Eagles for whatever reason, with previous notable return specialists such as Britton Covey and Jeremy Maclin sporting the number during their time with the Eagles. Kenneth Gainwell wore number 14 last year, and it's now going to be sported by our QB3. And long snapper Charlie Hewlett retains his number 47 jersey that he repped with the Cleveland Browns. Personally, I love it when the jersey numbers come out. I don't know why. I just find it exciting. I just wish that for the draft picks, the Eagles would be quicker about releasing them compared to other teams, but that's for another episode. Anyway, moving on. On Monday, the Eagles announced that they have been awarded another country as a part of the NFL's Global Market Program. This program allows NFL teams to build awareness and expand teams' fandoms to countries around the world, all in an effort to increase popularity of American football on a global scale. The Eagles were previously awarded Australia, New Zealand, and Ghana, and now Brazil will be a part of the Eagles organization. This program will allow the Eagles to air commercials on Brazilian television, as well as promote the team through other marketing efforts in Brazil in the hopes to attain more international fans. At the beginning of last season, the Eagles defeated the Green Bay Packers in Sao Paulo, Brazil, in the league's first game in South America. And besides the field being in less than ideal conditions, I have a whole episode about that, I thought the game in Brazil was pretty dope. The energy was great for the nation's first American football game, and hopefully we gain more Brazilian fans now that the Eagles are able to promote themselves more so down there. We welcome all of Brazil to become Eagles fans. Y'all won't regret it. In other news, the Eagles will host the Cleveland Browns in the second week of preseason for joint practices, also announced on Monday. This will be the second time in 3 seasons that the Eagles host Cleveland in the preseason, as there are personal connections between staff members of both organizations, as well as Browns coach Kevin Stefanski being a Philadelphia native. We got some more Eagles news regarding uniforms. So, we might see more Kelly Green or all-black uniforms from the Eagles this fall, as it was announced on Monday that the NFL has updated their uniform policies, which will now allow teams to wear alternate or throwback jerseys up to 4 times a year. Now, this was a change to the previous one, which only allowed up to 3 times per year. I think for the Eagles, if they're going to rock the Kelly Green more often, it should be during division games or like huge matchups, such as when we play the Chiefs in a rematch during the regular season this upcoming year, or when we play the Bills like we did in the 2023 season, or, let's just wear them when we play Tampa Bay, because maybe, just maybe, it might give us an edge in that game, because the Buccaneers just seem to be our fucking kryptonite for whatever reason. Maybe the Kelly Green jerseys could turn into the Bucs kryptonite for once. In other news, the NFL has approved of the Philadelphia Eagles rule change proposal to align regular season overtime rules with the overtime rules of postseason games. This will allow both teams a chance to possess the ball in overtime, regardless if the first possessing team scores or not. And speaking of rule change, the NFL has decided to make the new kickoff format that started at the beginning of the 2024 season permanent. However, the spot for touchbacks will now be all the way at the 35-yard line. For those who are new to American football, basically on an opening kickoff or a kickoff after points were scored, if the kicker just boots the shit of the ball out of the end zone, either in it or beyond it, it results in a touchback. This change in touchback spot would give the receiving team an advantage, putting them now 5 yards closer to the opposing team's end zone. The purpose of the rule change last year was basically just to increase the rate of kickoff returns. Basically, they were like, hey, it's boring as shit when the ball goes out the back of the end zone on like 80% of kickoffs, and fans love a good kickoff return, so let's incentivize kickoff returns and punish kickers who kick it out the back of the end zone. Well, I guess this rule was a success since it's now permanent. We'll see how successful this rule continues to be next season, but this rule change is kind of contradictory to a separate potential rule change, which I'm about to get into and is our biggest and final topic point for today's episode. And that rule change is this. So, on Tuesday at the NFL owners meeting, they decided to table the vote on whether to ban the play notoriously used by the Philadelphia Eagles as the Tush Push. The meeting to vote on this will now be sometime in the middle of May. If you haven't been paying attention for whatever reason, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur, and the Packers organization proposed a rule change to ban the Tush Push play for all 32 NFL teams. The ban proposal has received support from other teams and coaches, such as Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills and Raheem Morris of the Atlanta Falcons. Morris voiced his opinion on the play with, quote, "I don't like the play for what I have to do to stop it." Packers coach Matt LaFleur was quoted saying, "It isn't a great football play, it's more of a rugby play," amongst his opinions on safety issues and pace of the game being his top reasons to ban the play. According to the NFL.com's Nick Shook, during the meeting regarding the Tush Push, the NFL's medical experts emphasized to clubs that there is potential injury risk even without substantial data to prove it at this time. Okay. So let me get this straight. There are NFL medical experts who are using their title as medical experts, stating there's potential risk to injury as a reason to ban the play, even though there isn't any data to prove that correct? Yeah, something sounds fishy here. This whole vote to ban the play is fucking stupid. Obviously, the Eagles are against banning it, but other organizations such as the Browns, Saints, and Panthers have stated their opinions against banning the play as well, citing the importance of player safety but acknowledging the fact that the Tush Push is no more or less dangerous than any other legal NFL play. This whole ban thing shouldn't have even been an approved proposal in the first place. It's been analyzed and confirmed that no injuries have occurred as a result of the play that has been used by the Eagles and other organizations for at the very least the past 3 seasons. Matt LaFleur, Sean McDermott, and Raheem Morris are just petty-ass, butthurt coaches who can't stop the play on the field, so they're trying to ban it instead of growing some balls and figuring out a way to stop it on the football field themselves. I'm especially irritated by Sean McDermott because he's hypocritical as fuck with this whole thing. He wants the play banned, yet his team, the Bills, is the team that uses it the second most in the league, obviously behind the Eagles. Like, does McDermott not hear his own paradox? Also, It's clear as fuck that Matt LaFleur has never watched an actual rugby game in his entire life, because that play is not used in rugby at all. As a former college rugby player myself, my team nor any other team I played against in college has used anything remotely identical to the tush push. Now, there is a scrum down, which is like a play after a penalty where two teams push against each other to achieve possession of a loose ball that's thrown in by a player on the team who has the advantage. But anyway, this play, it kind of looks like the tush push, but it has other components to it that are not used by NFL players in the actual tush push itself. I get why they had to extend the deadline to vote on it, especially considering there were apparently some heated discussions back and forth about this rule change. But if any coach or organization had any self-respect, they would not ban a play solely because they cannot stop it. If there was any quantitative data showing that the tush push play in particular was more dangerous and resulted in more injuries than any other legal NFL play, I could understand banning it at that point. However, since that is not the case, the more petty reason that coaches like McDermott and LaFleur want to ban it is simply because they just can't fucking stop it. And it's not just these particular coaches who are being petty as fuck. On Wednesday, Adam Schefter was on 97.5 The Fanatic, where he indicated that the tush push could get banned because, quote, Roger Goodell doesn't like the play and can drum up the 24 votes needed in order to pass the ban. See, this is why people boo Roger Goodell's ass at the NFL draft each and every year. If he wants something, regardless of what the majority of the league's organizations or fans want, he's gonna push his agenda down everyone's throat, even if it's hypocritical. He's jumping on the bandwagon of the reason to ban the play is, quote, for player safety, yet this is the same commissioner who wanted more kickoff returns because shit was just boring before the rule change, yet the rate of injuries on kick returns is significantly more likely than on the tush push itself. He's being a hypocrite, just like Sean McDermott. Plain and simple. Roger Goodell is leaning towards banning a play because he thinks it's boring and is trying to cater to the league, even though realistically he's catering to just half the league, since the ban proposal only got 16 votes before they decided to table it. Based on that information, it seems like Roger Goodell had influence in tabling the vote on the ban because he didn't have enough votes for his agenda, so he's pushing the vote to mid-May so he can attempt to swing at least 6 more teams to vote his way. Let me tell y'all something. That sounds pretty corrupt as fuck, in my opinion. Goodell doesn't give a damn about player safety if he's passing a kick return format that has more potential injury risk while wanting to ban the tush push, which again has no quantitative data stating that it is more dangerous than any other play from scrimmage. Goodell simply doesn't like the play because he thinks it's boring, which honestly it's not boring, so he wants to get it banned. And apparently, if he wants it, he's gonna get it. Goodell and these other coaches like LaFleur and McDermott and Morris are just hiding under this narrative that they claim it's for health and safety, when in reality, they just can't stop the play and don't like the play. So instead of doing anything about it on the field, they just want to go and take it out for everybody completely. And if that's your only argument, you are petty as fuck, and you're doing a disservice to your team by wasting time and resources trying to ban a play versus actually teaching your defense ways to safely stop it. But hey, that ain't none of my business. Lane Johnson said it best on his Instagram post on Tuesday. They hate us cause they ain't us. Alright y'all, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok by searching at 2nd and 15. That's 2NDAND15. Or search the full name 2nd and 15, a Philadelphia Eagles fan podcast. You can also find the audio for each and every single episode releasing Thursday mornings on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Player FM, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts. This episode, 2nd and 15, and Old City Sports Network are sponsored by Warlord Beard Oil. Head on over to warlordbeardoil.com and use our promo code OLDSPORTS for 15% off beard oils, washes, soaps, and many other products for all of your beard care needs. Orders over $75 will get you free shipping. We are also sponsored by SeatGeek. Download the app and use promo code Old City Sports Network, all one word, for $20 off of your first purchase. We're also brought to you by Robert Hangholt Construction. If you are in the greater Philadelphia region and need some work done with your roof, windows, siding, deck, etc., call the #1 contractor in the area at 610-348-1066 to get a free estimate on your next home project today. We're also brought to you by Decals by Aaron. Check out decalsbyaaron.com for all of your Delco products and merchandise. Your #1 spot for everything Delco, that's Decals by Aaron. We're also brought to you by Iron and Steel Threads. Check out ironsteelthreads.com and use promo code OldCity10 for 10% off the entire website. A portion of the proceeds will go to youth hockey organizations. We're also brought to you by Uncle John's Barbecue Stand, located in Claymont, Delaware. Check them out for some local delicious barbecue and sauces only at Uncle John's Barbecue Stand. And finally, we are brought to you by Custom Concessions. If you're in the market for repairs on your food truck or trailer, or you're just getting into the food truck business and need reliable service, check out none other than Custom Concessions. They use high quality materials and provide high quality service. Use the sponsors tab on oldcitysportsnetwork.com to check them out today. And while you're there, go ahead and check out our merchandise tab, where you can find awesome gear from your favorite shows, such as 2nd and 15, Check the Net, and Flyers Alley. There's t-shirts, stickers, cupware, and more. Check that out on oldcitysports.com today. Once again, thanks y'all for joining in. This is 2nd and 15, a Philadelphia Eagles fan podcast presented by Old City Sports Network. We'll see y'all next week. Don't forget to stay fly like an eagle, and as always, go Birds!